interviewing
Greg Albert.
and
Jade Lady.
and we're here to talk about the Robinhood tax, which is a proposal based to tax Wall Street transactions 0.5%. So what do you think about this proposal?
Well, I don't know too much specifically about this current proposal. I've been reading more about it right now, but to me it seems like it's a pretty good idea because it seems like it's something that's been needed to happen for a long time. Tax the corporations who've been able to kind of get out of this tax that we ourselves pay, but a lot of people have been kind of afraid to do it because they fear the repercussions of how it may affect us. And I don't think it's necessarily, or we just don't know how it's going to happen because we've never really done it before. And I think with all the money that could be raised, the benefits would far outweigh all of the costs.
What would you like the benefits to go towards?
Personally, probably education, just because the rising costs of here at Berkeley, the school is just more expensive every semester, everywhere. I think it's just going up, and so if we could just kind of lower the costs and get more people educated, that would just perpetually benefit everybody.
And what do you think about this proposal?
Um, Much like Greg mentioned, I'm not completely well versed on the whole matter, but I think that personally anything that would create more like transparency within Wall Street, or how the corporations function themselves, because they tend to act like these kind of mysterious entities where we don't really know how they're gaining so much profit. Like, I think that could only be a positive outcome. And also, it would be nice to see funding go towards like getting rid of our deficit and our debt, and towards healthcare, research, education, especially K through 12. Um, I've been hearing a lot about like Sacramento. A lot of rural kids can't even afford to like get to school and home and back because their parents aren't there during the day, and the bus system has just decided to like shut down. The school budget has cut out the entire bus system, so parents aren't even sure how they're going to get their children to class. And I think if that's an issue, then there's no reason that they shouldn't be taxed. Absolutely. But it's just difficult to say, um, because unfortunately corporations have a huge impact in our even day-to-day life.
Do you think this would have repercussions?
I think so, but with any kind of like change or like social revolution or financial revolution, there are kind of negative repercussions and backlash. But I think as kind of a country, we've lived under like fear for long enough, and I think this tax is just really interesting because it's more like a symptom of kind of a shift in consciousness and like priorities in the United States, and I think that's what's most interesting about it. Is that this is something we probably would have never talked about 10 years ago, but like now it's just really prevalent. So I think that's the coolest thing about it.
What do you think about it?
Well, as for like the negative repercussions we were just talking about, I think that's definitely gonna probably affect a little bit or have some. So that's a weird way to say it.
Ripple effects?
There's gonna be some other effects, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. And if we can kind of accept it and know that's gonna happen, we can gain so much from this that it would be worth, maybe if we have to pay a little bit more. Like, I think it would be worth it just for all the benefits that it could affect millions of kids and millions of people in the school system. That it's something that we should take pride in paying for, because it won't affect us so much as the corporations. It would just have enormous benefits.
Yes, so it would limit the corporations who currently make deals on Wall Street. So there you have it, an interview with two students here at Cal. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm here interviewing Teresa about the Robinhood tax. So, Teresa, I just wanted to know if you had any idea what the Robinhood tax is.
The Robinhood tax is a financial transaction tax that will. Should I talk louder? Okay, so the Robinhood tax is a financial transaction tax that will tax less than less than half a percent on each business transaction. So each time someone makes like a bond or stock, they'll be taxed.
On Wall Street.
On Wall Street, yeah.
And then that will generate $23 billion a year. So do you agree with this tax? Do you think it should be something that should be implemented or not?
I think the problem with the Robinhood tax is the fact that there's a lot of, I would say, economic jargon that's accompanied by it. So there's no really actual guarantee that it'll actually generate $23 billion. And the arguments for and both against it have language that I think needs to just be accessible to the public so we can both clearly and see in a transparent way what it's actually going to do. Because I question how that $23 billion is actually going to be raised by just a less than 0.5% tax on each business transaction. But I do see its potential. I think the fact that Wall Street doesn't get taxed is sort of BS, to put it in, I guess, layman's terms. There does need to be a tax on Wall Street. It doesn't make sense that we have things like sales income tax and a bunch of taxes on industries and things in general without Wall Street having to pay for anything at all. I don't really think it's going to cut back on business or really negatively affect the market, but I do think if we're going to implement a tax like that, there needs to be other regulations and stuff in control to make sure that businesses can't slip through loopholes and actually make sure that the funds that are being generated from the Robin Hood tax are going to these social welfare programs.
Right. But in essence, you do essentially agree with this tax if it were to do what it said it's going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so the amount that it accrues, that it accumulates from this tax, what would you want? Because like a wide array of things it could be used for. What would you personally use it for?
Personally, I would use it for, I would split up the funds because $23 billion is a lot of money, and I would put it towards main things like education, health. I mean, it's a broad range, but just towards all the general programs. I would say really focusing on education, really focusing on health, and just low income programs in general.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Definitely. But you agree that it would definitely help us in many, many ways. If
Yeah,
this were
if it's
to
done,
accrue this amount and done correctly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hope that you will go on our Facebook page and like it, and if you feel so inclined to contact your congressman, make this happen, as we will too. Thank you. Thank you.